Welcome to Dr. Charles Speaks, a podcast for now. You've joined us for a special series of transformational talks, selected exclusively from Dr. Charles's corporate success calls. The 15-minute calls are designed to encourage leaders, activate your thought life, and prepare you for the challenges ahead. Dr. Charles joins every call with a blend of his personal experiences, his expertise as a John Maxwell certified mentor and coach, and of course, his more than 30 years of exceptional experience in both corporate America and ministry. Get motivated with Dr. Charles Speaks, a transformational talk from the Red Line on today's podcast, inspiring excellence and generating results.
Good day, my friends, and let's make it a great day. This is the Red Line Corporate Success Call. I guarantee you this 15 minutes is going to make a difference in your day and perhaps even in the entire week. It's designed for you to be inspired and to continue to challenge you and yourself in your personal leadership growth. Today, I'm excited about the subject matter that I like to talk to you about. It's really about leadership is about team development. And that is so important. I like to quote from John Wooden. John Wooden, a famous basketball coach for UCLA. I don't believe he ever lost a game. He was that good. He was the great coach of UCLA. And he said this. He said, leadership is about more than just forcing people to do what you say. A prison guard does that. A good leader creates belief in the leader's philosophy, in the organization, and in the mission. And so today I want to talk about leadership and team development because we're continuously trying to get better at what we do. Those of us that manage teams, we want to be our very best. We have the year ahead of us to make changes and make good decisions that are going to be lasting and impactful in a positive way. The growth and development of people is the highest calling of leadership. That is the key because no one person can do the job alone. There's not enough time in the day, 24 hours a day. You've got to get some sleep in. You got to get work in, and you just can't do it all. And even if you try, you'll die trying because there's just so much that needs to be done. So you can't build a strong team, number one, on weak individuals. The founder of the computer company, H. Ross Perot, I quote him, and he said this. He said, hire the best people. And he says this, eagles don't flock. You have to find them one at a time. What is that saying? That says that we are affected as leaders by the people that are closest to us. When we are able to attract people that are going to bring value, that are going to challenge us, that are going to encourage us, that is going to bring diversity of ideals, that's going to make a difference because leaders who continue to grow personally and bring growth to their organization, guess what? They will influence many people and develop a successful team around them. I want you to hear this. Number two, the better the players, the better the leader. You take a team that is full of inexperienced people that certainly have a heart and a passion to try to do their best, but if they don't bring the know-how and they don't bring the disposition of the leadership behaviors, then it will definitely have an impact on your team one way or the other. But when you think about this, the better the players, the better the leader, you think about coaches that have coached championship teams and they take that same coach and though they have the experience and the time, they go to an expansion team. The win-loss record may not look as well as it did when they were on the championship team, but it's still the same coach. What's the difference? They're having to bring up and train up the team to get to a championship level. And so when a coach comes in right on the cutting edge of the team about to take the leap to get into the championship conversation, they're going to have some players. They may even run the same plays on the championship team and try to run those plays on an expansion team, but yet the record at the end of the season, the expansion team has lost a lot of games versus the championship is holding up the trophy. And so who we surround ourselves with and the diversity of talent and the experience, it makes a difference. Andrew Carnegie, he said, it marks a big step in your development when you come to realize this, that other people can help you do a better job than you could do alone. And that's the point I want you to get when you realize that other people can help you do a better job than you could do alone. And you realize that when you are not threatened by their experience or threatened by their successes, but yet you tap into it and you find a way to work in a cohesive way and be able to get results in a greater way. Winning teams have great leaders. They pick good people and they play to win and make other team members more successful and keep improving. That is the secret sauce to winning teams. It starts with number one, you, me, as leaders, and the fact that we have an eye for talent and an eye for what we need. And we can be realistic in looking in the mirror and seeing the things that we bring as strengths and looking at others where they bring to the table things that we're not so bright on, things that we could use some additional support on. When you take those two together and be transparent about it, then you play to win. And as a result, others are going to be better for it and keep on improving. Number one, knowing what motivates people is what makes people think, what makes them feel and act as they do is so important. And so we've got to get to know people and what it is that makes them motivated. If there's someone who's very big on the technical side or someone who's very big on the analytical side, on the marketing side, on the management side, on the administrative side, and you tap into those things and you'll find that once you give them things along that line, that motivates them. And in the process of motivating them, it reaches to the people that they present to and that they represent you as an advocate going out and carrying on the agenda. You'll see that it will make a huge difference. Outstanding leaders, number two, they go out of their way to boost the self-esteem of their people, because if people believe in themselves, it's amazing what they can accomplish. And that's what we have in leadership. And part of our role and responsibility is to see the diamond in the rough of those individuals that we encounter, and that we're able to help them see it, and that we're able to tap into something that makes them tick, something that gets them up and creates passion in their step, in their aspirations and growing. Because the more you know about the kind of person you need and what the job requires, the greater your odds of hiring the right person and hiring the wrong person, realizing that it costs you, your company, money, at least 2 years of salary when you get it wrong. And so when we're able to see the things that we need and we're able to identify the strengths of others and we're able to pull them together for a sweet sound, we'll realize that we're making a difference. Because people work harder, they stay longer, and they do better on a job when they like what they do. But when you can't identify what it is that motivates them, then at some point they may find themselves in a complacent state where they just simply are trying to get along to collect a paycheck. But when you can continue to challenge, continue to pour into their treasury in terms of wealth of insights and knowledge and getting them to get off of first base and make their way around the diamond, it will make a difference. You know, the difference between playing to win and playing to not to lose is one difference between success and mediocrity. People who play it safe continuously miss opportunities and seldom make progress. Now, it's the same way in baseball. You know, I like sports analogies. It's the same way in baseball. And someone said this: you cannot steal second base with your foot on first. Winning teams are seldom more talented than losing teams. That's a no-brainer. But they are always more committed. And that's the difference between a winner and a loser. The winner is committed, whereas the loser is not. Winners want to win and are willing to pay the price and go after victory. Because when you think about it, winning teams always seek to improve. And what you did last year, you're going to have to do better this year. Whenever an organization is through improving, it's through. I'll say that again. Whenever an organization is through improving, it is through. And I've used this analogy before. It's worth using it again. You know, you ask the question, why is it that a professional football team or a basketball team or a baseball team, why is it that they seldom repeat as world champions in consecutive years? Well, mainly it's because of the temptation to keep all the players, keep all the practices the same, run all the same strategies as we did the previous year. And you know what? Too many think of that and they stay put. They can't stay on top. That's not true. With the current players, must be keep on growing and improving, or potentially better ones must be brought into the organization and continue. The success is a result of the continued improvement. So you're always tweaking and you're always adding. You don't have to rebuild the team necessarily, but you do have to continue to seek to improve. Why? Because there's a bullseye on you, because there's the other team that lost and had an opportunity to win. They're looking for ways to do things better. As I've said before, it's not so much reinventing the wheel. It's about making it better. And you know what happens in a lot of these professional teams, once there's a championship team, other teams want to mimic them and they want to steal their best coaches and take them over to their team and make them head coaches and hope for the same results. And so the thing about it is that you may run the same plays, but you got to have the players in order to win. And that is so important because winning teams make their team members more successful. In other words, because of other members of the team, each player is better than the player would be if he or she played alone. And so in my business, we always talk about driving for results and number 2, making others around us better. That is a powerful, potent 1-2 punch because it is so important that as you work together and you drive together and that you all get to the destination together and you all hold up the trophy together, it makes a world of difference. And you know, we really don't have to complicate things. I remember the famous football coach, Vince Lombardi, of the Green Bay Packers, one of the greatest coaches ever in football. He said, you know what, the bottom line is start teaching the fundamentals. Players got to know the basics of the game and how to play his or her position. And then after you establish that, next, keep the team in line. That's discipline. The men and women, they have to play as a team, not as a bunch of individuals. And then you've got to care for one another. You've got to live for each other. And most of all, people call that, they say that's team spirit, and that is so important. That's a good recipe for success, beginning and keeping it simple, but yet with a purpose that is going to bring everyone together in a disciplined way and care for one another with team spirit. So what have we been talking about today? We've been talking about team development because the growth and development of people, that's the highest calling of leadership. And we're going to need that type of leadership in these days to be successful. You will know as a leader that you have succeeded only when the members of your team put the interests of the group over their own. That's when you know you've won. It's not about me. It's about we and us and how we can all win together. So I like to close on today simply to leave you with this quote. It's one of the quotes that's dear to me and means something. And it just simply reads, you are born to win. But to be a winner, you must plan to win, prepare to win, and expect to win. That's the key to building a team and to be a successful team. Thank you for joining again on the Red Line Corporate Success Call. This is Dr. Charles. Have a great day. And now, let's go back to work.
Thank you for listening to Dr. Charles Speaks. Visit drcharlesred.com for booking info for your ministry, business, or leadership team. Get info about the Red Line, a 15-minute corporate success call each Monday morning with Dr. Charles. Follow Dr. Charles on all social media at Dr. Charles Red. Subscribe to the podcast here for every episode of Dr. Charles Speaks. Thanks for joining us. Like Dr. Charles always says, no matter what, never, never, never give up. Until next time.